Everybody, welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody has had a good day wherever you guys are at in the world. God bless you and peace be with you. Please know that my readings are timeless, which means whenever it is that you come across this video, there's going to be messages in here for you. I suggest that you guys watch all of the readings on this platform at your leisure, because each reading is going, well, first of all, the readings are timeless, so it could be 10, 20, 30 years in the future. If you're coming across this video, there will be messages in here for you. But I do suggest that you guys watch all of the readings on this platform. They will get you up to date with everything in the spiritual realm. And these readings are to benefit you, to assist you, and to help you call things in your own life, to help bring clarity to you, and so that you have a safe space where you can use your discernment. And then my hope is that with you guys practicing using your discernment here with me, with the messages that come through, oh, God bless India, that when you guys are in your day-to-day life, that it just becomes second nature for you to use your discernment. So that is what my hope is. Okay. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope that you guys are feeling well. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. All right. So by watching my readings, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled here. Please be on your best behavior, because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. If you guys can like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps this platform, and it helps me, and we want to keep this platform alive. Okay, so no bullying me, no bullying anybody in the comments or anybody in the chat. That will just get you blocked from the platform, and then you don't get to watch the readings or have assistance. So I'm going to be talking about two books that are tagged in the products. If you go to the tagged products, you're going to see a lot of different metaphysical supplies. And these metaphysical supplies, just like when I was working at the metaphysical store, and we would go around to different crystal shows and stuff like that, we would travel and we would go through all of everybody's stock of what they had, and we would handpick everything. So I do that with all of the metaphysical supplies that are tagged in the shop. So I suggest you guys check those out. And I pick stuff that's at a reasonable price so that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg, and you're still getting something that's going to work for you, that's got good energy behind it. So it's tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. You are going to see two books. Well, you're going to see actually quite a few books that are tagged in the products. But the two books that I'm going to be talking about, the first one is called The Truth of God, and this is an advanced intuitive living workbook, and it's written by Michael STEADMAN, who is a doctor of divinity. Now, I've been using the techniques from The Truth of God for 11 years, and I've also helped other people use these same techniques to change their lives. But it has been having such a good effect on my life, and I'm so thankful that I came across this information. So I'm just going to go over briefly the techniques that I use every single day. So in this book, this is not a book that you just read one time. First of all, I just want to show you, it's got large font in it. It's got highlighted sections, and it's extremely easy to read. So if your English skills are like grade school level, you can read this book, okay? If English is your second language. This is one of the easiest books that I've ever read. So, but it's one book that you don't just read it one time and put it back on the shelf. This is a book that you will use over and over again. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about the techniques in it. I mean, there's so many techniques in here, like literally every chapter is a different technique, but I'm going to talk about the ones that I use all the time. And just to let you guys know, if you've got personal questions, please don't spam the chat. Send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question. So the God technique is the first technique I'm going to talk about. And hi, Kiwi Kid. After I'm done talking about the books, I will definitely look at your question, okay? So the God technique, in my opinion, I think is the most powerful, because what it does is it connects you with your higher self, with God, so that it changes your frequency and your vibration. So the more that I do the God technique, the more peace I have, and it gives me the ability to rise above whatever's going on in the reality that my ego is perceiving things from. So the God technique also helps me rise above any demonic energy, any low vibrational energies. And I find myself doing it multiple times a day. If my chakras get out of balance, I'm going straight to the God technique first. Because I feel like if I can get myself vibrationally above it, then I can start to get past it. The second technique I'm going to talk about is the joy versus anger technique. So in the reading, when you see me asking yes and no questions, I'm not asking spirits. I'm not asking anything outside of myself. I am using my discernment. I'm using my gut feeling, which the joy versus anger technique is based off of a gut feeling. So it gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions and get an immediate response back, which I think is a blessing to not have to sit around. Like before the truth of God, I would have to be like, okay, I'll pray on it. I'll sit around and meditate on it. No, with these techniques, it makes everything faster. So, because your higher self, God, knows what's best for you and what's not best for you. So if you start asking, you know, should I go here? Should I go there? Should I do this? Should I do that? You'll start getting answers, okay, immediately. So sometimes you'll ask a question and you'll get the answer no, and it could be something that you really want to do. So then I would tell you to go to the 1 to 10 method. And I was using I was using this method earlier to see when I was going to go eat something, if I was just going to go one place or the other place. And what ended up happening is I ended up using the 1 to 10 technique, and it was something so stupid, like the pants I was wearing that was making it low compatible. Once I changed my pants, once I figured out what it was, the compatibility went up. So it's with 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible. This book will teach you how to get compatibility on any subject that you have going in your life. And then the next technique I'm going to talk about is the mind technique. Now, the mind technique you want to use anytime that you have a thought or belief that's not serving you, go to the mind technique. Now, what is not serving me? All beliefs, any type of belief you have is not serving you, okay? Because the sun's still going to come up. The moon's going to come up, whatever, however you want to look at that. The seasons will still change, whether you believe in it or not. So you can test this out. You can stop believing and see if the sun comes up tomorrow, okay? So that just goes to show you that the positive will always be there, and you don't have to do anything when it comes to that because it will always be there. But a belief restricts you and it keeps you bound because your beliefs and your thoughts are pulling in the experiences that you're experiencing or the reality that you're experiencing. So when you can get control of the mind, that's what meditation is for. But I would say definitely, you know, using the mind technique, you clear a lot of beliefs and then your reality starts to shift. And then if you're somebody that struggles with troublesome thoughts, using the preemptive strike, because sometimes I will tell you this, journaling has been very effective for me, because if I have a thought that keeps reoccurring or a fear or whatever it is, if I go write that down, it's like I get it out of my system. And then I go through and I use the mind technique and I clear that thought and belief. And then I use an affirmation and I start writing things that I actually do want that would replace the beliefs. You don't have to replace the beliefs with more beliefs, but you want to like affirm what you actually do want to the universe. So I'm going to read the back of the Truth of God, just to give you guys a little, well, so that you know what the back of it says. I suggest that you guys get this book. It's not very expensive. It's a book that you'll use forever, and it will definitely change your life. It's changed my life so much for the better. So the truth of God is an evolutionary encounter with that which we know as God, gaining new perspective into who we are and from where we came. First, the journey to God takes you to the realm where it all began, making many discoveries along the way. Next, the story of God explains what has seemed to be indescribable, creation and the path that led to what we perceive to be reality. Last, in the spiritual workbook, Michael gives information and techniques that will allow us to free ourselves from those ideas and emotions that are hindering our spiritual progress, and methods to open up the channel between the conscious mind that we are aware of and the inner consciousness that many are becoming aware of, which you could say that's like the inner self. So check this book out. It is called The Truth of God, Advanced Intuitive Living, written by Michael STEADMAN, MICHAELSTEADMAN, who is a doctor of divinity. The second book that I'm going to talk about very briefly here is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, and it's written by me, Astraea Love. I wrote this book because I only had, God, Vassago, and the Divine Realm to help me learn how to read cards and how to do a lot of different things. And so this book will teach you how to read cards for yourself and for other people. Vassago, Vassago. And I've also tagged in the products and linked in the description box below the original Rider-Waite Tarot. This book has 23 tarot card spreads in it. It's got a tarot card for each of the, or it's got a tarot card spread for each of the 22 major arcana cards that are in the deck. Okay. And then I've added an additional one at the beginning to align you with your destiny so that you get going in the right direction. So I'm going to read the back of this book and then we'll get into the reading. So Astraea Love is a psychic/intuitive that has been living between the spiritual and physical world since she was a little girl, playing with the fairies in her backyard. She has helped countless people find answers to their questions about their life experiences with the help of the Most High God, providing inspiration in many forms. This book was inspired by the Ars Goetia spirit known as Vassago. He has assisted me in designing the different tarot card spreads in this book so that they cater to your personal experience. I, for one, know how difficult it can be to read cards for yourself due to our personal attachment to the outcome. This book will assist you in getting past that blockage and in obtaining the spiritual truth that will set you on your divine life purpose, aka spiritual path. This book of never before created major arcana spreads references a standard Rider-Waite tarot deck for all explanations and includes spells and rituals for each of the 22 cards. Different card combination descriptions are gifted from my years of practical knowledge and are included in the additional notes section. Okay, so very briefly, the title to this video, I had a vision earlier that, and this is weird because I don't know a whole lot about leeches, but leeches are like these little bugs that suck your blood. I saw somebody pulling leeches off of another person and throwing them into the fire. That's what I saw. So this looks like the total destruction of something that was very draining. Let's just say that. Okay, Kiwi Kid, let me look at your question. Okay, you paid the Hope Orphanage. Oh, I'm thinking that you're wanting to say in Nigeria, right? $45 for good karma. It seems legit. You won't talk to Pastor Kali anymore. Is there black magic going on with this? I get that there's something going on with the orphanage, but that there's something not right about it, but I'm probably can clear that energy. So let me just look and see. Yeah, I already feel something's latched onto your finances. So I want to clear it for you and we want to clear it for me. Okay. Give me 1 second. Just bring this to God. Yeah, be very careful of being scammed because these people, they'll make up a whole website. They'll they do this in Africa. In fact, the people who are these scammers are called Yahoo boys. And they're called that because they usually get on Yahoo or they get on Google and they start making websites for these fake organizations. And then they contact people asking for donations, telling them a sob story, whatever it is. And this is how they scam people out of money. So, and it's like when it's in a place like Nigeria that's so far from where you're at, it's almost impossible to figure out if it's legit or not. Even if they've got a website and a phone number and all that, that's literally how the Yahoo boys scam. Okay. So, yeah. So I just felt all the stuff that was attached to the finances of that. It's scammy energy, leechy energy, kind of like the topic of today's video. So, oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm doing a collective reading, but right now I'm going to be answering Kiwi Kid's question. Okay, so what I do like that I'm seeing is that the truth of God is still working for you, Kiwi Kid. I don't feel like, even though you donated to these people, I don't feel like whatever they were trying to spiritually attach to you, I don't feel like it's going to do what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to put you in some type of debt, because it's an energy that's latching on to finances. So when it comes to that, I don't know if I have a bracelet down here that's of preonite. There's a crystal called preonite, and when you wear it, it keeps it so that people can't drain you of your finances. It's spelled PREHINITE. Okay, so let's do a wellness check. I don't know why I just said wellness check, but I feel like that's what we're doing. Well, it feels like your chakras are actually in alignment. So they said they would pray for you. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, though. But if you've donated to these people before, or if they've said they prayed for you before, what did their prayers do? And we don't know what they're praying for, who they're praying to, which I think is terrifying. But at the same time, you know the truth about yourself being God. I know the truth about yourself being God. You'll be able to overcome it. So even with somebody praying for you, praying against you, doesn't matter, whatever they're praying to. This is why I like structured prayers. Like, well, there's the Lord's Prayer, which is a structured prayer. But I like the Book of Psalms because they're very structured prayers. Minus Psalm 109, because I just think that it's wicked. But, yeah. So I don't know what they said that they would pray for you specifically, but let's see what comes out in the card. Dude, the devil, you got to be joking. I just cut the deck and everything. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. So right off the bat, whatever they're praying to, I can tell you is not no Jesus, it's not no God, and it's not anything good. And okay, so when it comes to the devil, why I tend to blame people more than some type of abstract entity, because in my perspective, the devil or a devil is like an abstract type of entity. Okay. Do I think it looks like this picture? Probably not. I think that this picture, well, you can see that the humans are chained to the devil. They're chained there, but the devil's not like, it's like the people can free themselves if they wanted to. I'm also seeing something in the devil's hand. I don't know what the hell that is. Okay, so the fact that the devil came out the first time denotes that you could have been dealing with a greedy, materialistic, and selfish person who has disregard for others. So somebody that's asking, oh, send me money and I'll pray for you. That's not okay. Beware of someone who tries to control you or manipulate you. You're caught in an unhealthy situation. Good thing that this is just a one-time donation. You're probably not going to do this again. So I don't feel like this devil energy is going to be able to attach to your resources with me just clearing it. But yeah, if you can't trust the person that's asking you to make a donation, you probably can't trust the donation organization. The card of sexual perversity, I did pick that up off of this person, a pastor person, and dark secrets. Yeah, sexual addiction, possibly stuff with underage people or same-sex people, which we're not, anything that's underage is inappropriate, but same-sex stuff I'm not judgmental of. Overspending, substance abuse, compulsions, judge people by their values and not by their outside appearance. The Emperor. So I feel like you're coming into a state of being now where because of what the truth of God is doing for your life, it's basically elevating you above any type of ranking that this other person would have had to pray for you, okay? Like you just using the techniques and the truth of God is going to do more than any type of prayer, and it's going to do more than anybody else trying to pray for you, okay? That's what I'm getting. And this is why you're in the energy of the Emperor. You've come out twice now. Out of the whole time that I've read for you, until you've gotten the truth of God, you weren't coming out as the Emperor. Now, since you have the truth of God, you're coming out as the Emperor. I would consider that to be a huge jump in being elevated and like progression, a huge progression. Okay, so using your discernment, I do not do, there are places, sometimes I will go, I was telling you about this, I think yesterday, that I'll go places and they'll be like, oh, do you want to donate to this child thing? And I'll be like, no, because I feel like I can just pick up with it, the energies. If I were to donate that money, my energy would be tied up in with greedy people that would be using those resources, not for what they're saying it's for. So, but then there are other times that they ask that and I don't get that feeling, and I get a really good feeling, and then I donate. And so like when I was in Vegas, and I don't gamble, but it's an in-between point, okay, of travel. So like when I was there, they were taking donations to stop human moving around, right? And so I felt like that was a legitimate cause. And it was stuff that was in America, and I'm always about, they said they would pray about the third parties. Yeah. But they're praying to the devil. Maybe they don't know that they're praying to the devil, but I would highly doubt it. When you're dealing with greedy, materialistic, self-centered people, they probably know that what they're not connected to is God if it's influencing them to be low vibrational. God is never going to be like, oh, go hurt another person. You'll never ever hear. And if it's something that's saying, go hurt another person, that shit is not God, okay? The world. I still feel like you have access to the world, probably because of what we just cleared. So I would just be careful with where you invest. You don't, with all these people that are overseas, you don't need to be picking up any more curses or hexes or anything like that. And you don't know what people, even if they say that they're Christians or pastors, yeah, you just never know what they're actually considering that their God is. I mean, it's just, they're not clear with it. Even if they say that they're praying to ancestors. This is probably why people go, oh, ancestors are demons. I don't think real ancestors are demons. I think these people who think they're talking to ancestors are really talking to demons. That's kind of what I get. And it's not all people, but look, the devil and death, you've got to be joking. My God. Okay, what else do we need to know? Judgment. The devil, the death, and judgment. Yeah, I call judgment on whoever's trying to scam you out of resources. Then we have the Three of Cups, which is a good harvest and abundance. It also talks about, you know, you mastering your own world with the Emperor. Then a good harvest and abundance coming in. I also get that it'll be easier for you to discern when to give and when not to give. Yeah, you're probably gaining a new understanding of what makes you happy. Okay, the Strength. So this is looking like, you know, new relationships. If you open up to it, new relationships coming in. The Strength is a very good card to have. It talks about being compassionate, but also talks about, you know, like you being tolerant of other people. Whoa. Okay, this is that pastor person. They can't be trusted. They're coming out as the Knight of Wands in the reverse. When I did the reading for you yesterday, they came out as the Knight of Wands in the upright. So something about their mask has slipped. This person could be in their like 40s or whatever, maybe even, I mean, I will say that they could be from 30 to like 50 or in their 50s. They don't look like it though. This person's got emotional problems, can't commit, no discipline, angers easily, brash, cocky attitude, appears successful, but it is an act, keeps dark secrets, can be extremely cruel and abusive, promotes a relationship, but will leave after he gets what he wants, charming, but superficial. So that's like surface level type energy. Okay, what else? Sorry, you guys, I live on ATV Road. All my neighbors have ATVs. Okay, so let's see what else. So this whole situation is going to teach you how to use your discernment, I want you to use the joy versus anger technique anytime it comes to you making a decision, okay? That way you're making decisions that are in alignment with you. 7 of Pentacles. I feel like this devil energy is sitting around waiting for something to go in its favor, but I've already cleared the energy, so it's not. I also feel like when we bless other people with the intention that, okay, we're going to do this for good karma, it kind of ruins it. We should just be doing good things because we like to do good things, not thinking that we're going to get a reward. Because usually when we think, oh, I'm going to do this to get a reward, we usually don't get the reward. That's just what I've seen with my own 2 eyes. Okay, so let's see. I'm still getting that if you invest in some type of project with yourself, that you'll get a return back. Taking a financial inventory of what you have. I don't think people should be asking things of you that, like how I was saying yesterday, how this pastor, you've told them your situation. How dare these stupid people even ask you of anything? How dare they? What's wrong with them? This is why judgment's being called. They don't give a shit about you. You think this person prayed for you? They do not give a shit about you. It'll leech you dry of everything that you have if you're not careful. And this is why you'll never catch me paying no practitioner person or anybody overseas. I don't trust that. I would rather go into my own country, if anything else. Okay, what else? 4 of Cups. Yeah, these people, they do this Yahoo Boy shit because they're bored. Because they can't, in countries like Nigeria, probably Uganda, other countries, maybe even South Africa. These people, what they can make from scamming, first of all, if they were to have a regular job, what they would make through the regular job would not, it would be, you know, probably equivalent to like $75 for an entire month's work, right? If we were to look at it, conversion rate. What they make off of scamming people is significantly a larger amount of money. And they don't have to work for it. So, because they just scam it out of people that already have it. I also get that this person is like a racist. Okay, depression, self-absorbed, or they're bigoted, racist, and stereotypical. They don't like Americans, so they should probably be leaving Americans alone. Emotional exhaustion. Yeah, these people are about to be exhausted. Whatever they thought they were going to get off of you, they're not going to get it like they thought they was if they had full leniency to just latch shit onto your finances and drain you. Absolutely not. I feel like you look, 5 of Wands, competition. If these people are supposed to be praying for you, then why is the competition card? Why did the devil come out the first card? This 5 of Wands competition, this person is getting resources from people and giving it out to other people. So maybe they have some people that they have to like divvy out resources to, but yeah, I feel like they should have not asked you for anything. If they were a real Christian, they would not be asking you to donate to their bullshit ass organization that's completely fake and fraudulent, that goes right into their pocket. They're trying to make it like, oh, you're doing a good deed by, and then I'll pray for you. What the fuck? No, a real Christian, and this is why I don't claim to be Christian, but a real Christian will be like, oh, I'll pray for you. No, send money to this other country. No bullshit. Okay, this is how I can tell these people are fake. Besides the fact that the devil came out the first card. Jesus would not have accepted no money for prayers, okay? But we can't all be Jesus, obviously. I mean, shit, I wouldn't want to be Jesus. Everybody that throws all their problems at Jesus, I would rather be any other being probably than that. Okay, what else do we need to know? So yeah, these people probably sitting around thinking that they need to compete. This person was going to try to challenge your authority in the spirit. They're not going to be able to do that now. Two of Wands. Yeah, you making the world a better place doesn't necessarily mean you donating to charities. Just by you connecting with your higher self, God, you're raising your frequency above the frequency of everybody else. Okay, especially in your immediate environment. That's making the world a better place right there. What do we need to know about the devil and the Five of Wands? Why are those two cards out here? Well, these energies are going to be very disappointed. I bet that pastor person's got multiple wives rolling around in whatever luxury vehicle, pimping out little boys. I mean, I'm getting a whole download of shit that I don't want to pick up on with this person. That it's just disgusting. Using the suffering of other people to try to scam others out of money. I think that's probably not very Christian-like. And this person, their prayers didn't do anything but call upon the devil. So whatever they're doing, I don't think that they're successful at it. This is most likely why they have to scam people, because they don't have people coming into their church wanting to be prayed over. I also get that this person, if they have a physical location, like a physical church, there's demons all up in the thing. So maybe if this person's praying for people and the demons are coming out of people, they're not leaving. It's not like he's banishing them. They're in the vicinity. Wow, that's weird. That's weird as shit. Okay. The sun. And you come over here with this sunny energy, this beautiful energy, lighting up the world. Yes, I feel like this did happen for these people to be exposed, but this is also just teaching you that using your discernment is like so important. Yeah, mental alertness, optimism, and happiness. Don't worry, these people have a lot of karma coming to them. I mean, the fact that I guess there's more than just one type. I don't know what type of religion this person is, but I don't know if it says in the Bible you can have multiple wives and shit, but I am literally getting that this person is so promiscuous, they probably are trying to repopulate the world. Nine of Cups. Yeah, your wish fulfillment. Everybody wants the American dream until it requires going to America and actually working on your dreams. It all sounds good on paper until you get into the position of being taxed and all of that other stuff. Not just being taxed, but having to actually work. The Nine of Cups is here for you still, though, even with this energy being cleared. So I'm getting that you're going to still be able to grant your wishes. I don't think you need to, by you using the truth of God, you're doing the world a service. You don't need to do anything other than that. Literally, to create positive karma. When we try to create positive karma, never works out the way that we want it to, because we're only doing something nice thinking because we're going to get a reward for it. So when you make your next donation to whatever, think about it and not like, okay, I'm doing this to get a reward, but that I'm doing it just because it feels like the right thing to do. For me, I only donate to causes when it feels like the right thing for me to do. And I don't care what words come out of people's mouths, because I know that it's all deception and lies. The Fool, that way you're not caught unaware and that you're not tricked out of your own inheritance. The Yahoo Boy scam, there's people literally, when they get money from other people, okay, I've heard quite a few stories actually about Nigeria and how people will sacrifice people to the devil after they get a little bit of money out of them, or they'll try to trick people into being a part of their ritual or whatever. And it always is like terrifying shit. So, what is going to happen with these people? Do we even need to know? I guess you putting them on block is going to do everything that it needs to do. Okay, anything else? Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah, for you to remain somebody that's stable, you've got to be aware who you're giving to. And I'm in the middle of working on things that I'm writing, but that is one thing that I have been talking about in the writings that I've been doing, is that you have to be careful who you give to, because like if you give to a psychic vampire, they're just going to keep coming back wanting more and more and more and more. Okay, saying, oh, I can do this for you, oh, I can do that, and it's bullshit. When you have access to the ultimate knowledge, what can any other person do for you that you can't do for yourself? These people, if they have to go to some type of devil, that's just not even productive. But I'm also getting that, you do like to give, you like to help people out when they're in need, but you got to make sure that, you're not caught unawares. Let's just say that. Because with all of this trouble that you've had with financial stability and all that, it's because some of it because of who you were giving to in the past. So you just don't want to repeat that mistake. And make sure that you're aware of who you're giving to, and don't give to people that, this person gives me the EBGBs, but I would just not give to people who are, multiple wives, yeah, or multiples. Now that I think of it, I think Mormons, maybe not all of Mormons, but a certain sect of them. So there is probably something in Christianity that says you can have multiple wives. I don't agree with polygamy, just for myself. I don't even agree with marriage for myself. So, all right, so let's look into whoever these leeches are and see what's going on with the energy. The vision that I was shown is that somebody pulling leeches off another person and then throwing them in the fire. So I think that was supposed to be symbolic to an end of a drain on somebody's system. That's what I was thinking that it meant. And leeches live primarily in water, from what I understand. I've never encountered one in the wild, and I don't want to. That's an experience I don't need to have. I don't know and water represents spirit, so, oh yeah, that gives me the creepy crawlies. I saw a centipede the other day, and it scared the shit out of me. I was just not used to seeing those. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. The moon. Okay, whoever was trying to take from y'all is straight up spending too much time, not sleeping, up under the moon. If you look at these two animals, this one right here, even though that looks like a squirrel, it's not, okay? It looks like somebody zoomed in on a squirrel. That's my opinion. This is supposed to represent a wolf, or this represents a dog. Now, I don't know why people think that they can domesticate other people, but that's what I'm getting off of this card, because the wolf, through process of inbreeding, becomes a dog, right? And over time. And then we have this, I want to say that this could be, it's not like a lobster, but it could be like a crawdad. Crawdads represent money. Yeah. So this person's personal faith is being tested. Their ethics are being tested. Whoever this leech is, or whoever this person that's, see, I get that you guys have a spirit guide that's coming in and ripping the leeches off and throwing them in the fire, and is like, enough of this. Like, we're not doing this anymore. So I feel like this person that's working up under the moon primarily to try to manipulate and control you, I feel like they're feeling haunted. They feel paranoid. They feel like their future is at risk, because it is. Well, they're taking a huge risk by trying to send moon magic to you, by the way. And then they have secret enemies and opposition, which is AKA your spiritual team is opposing this person. These people, their friends and family may be in danger. If this person was trying to like take your resources and divvy it out amongst other people, your ancestors are not going for this. They're like literally saying, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are never going to allow that to happen. And so maybe there is somebody that wants to come towards you, but they're not going to be able to come towards you because your ancestors are like, if you come towards the collective, we'll take your head off. Like literally. Judgment on the bottom here. So this moon magic has got somebody up under judgment because they've been doing the shit for way too long. Maybe at one point they were using the moon in a destructive way to leech energy or siphon energy or whatever. I will always tell you that these witches and warlocks always think the next moon is the moon that's going to do it. Speaking of witches and warlocks, Queen of Wands. So you got a Queen of Wands that's up under judgment, some fiery ass judgment, by the way. And they've got to pay you back energetically everything that they stole. Okay, so this Queen of Wands is a leech, but they're also attached to like 3 other people. And their energy is very nauseating. I don't think I would be able, if this person was in the same room as me, I think I would probably start to get like a really bad stomach, like my body would start to react, okay, to being around this energy. So this Queen of Wands has basically doomed their future because they keep focusing on the past and they keep focusing on what your destiny has. And they think that they're going to divide your inheritance up amongst other people. I feel like this Queen of Wands would not be in as much trouble if she would have like cut away the people that are draining to her, you know? Okay, Kiwi Kid, I'm just looking at your question. So we're going to pause the collective reading. I'm going to answer Kiwi Kid's question. So yeah, I'm getting right off the bat that not at this time. God doesn't want you to be with her. I've been telling you that God has something better for you. Somebody that is not going to drop the ball when it comes to you. Does God want Steve to be removed? Yeah, what I'm getting is that the whole universe wants Steve to be honest. Let's say that, honest, and to come clean. If Irene knew the truth, would she come back and cut off Steve? That's a good question. That's a good question. Okay, let's see. Well, if it could be proven, see, the weird thing about this whole situation is that none of it's proven. So she acted on, she's done a lot of actions against you without having any proof, which to me, I think it's like just not intelligent. Like, I just can't think of somebody doing that. Well, actually, okay, now that I think about it, I've been having to go through with my discernment again and use it because I was watching these videos with this actress. I don't think it's really important, but anyways, her name's Evan Rachel Wood, and she's been talking about Marilyn Manson. And at first, if you look at first glance, you probably think that she's telling the truth, but all of this other evidence that's, you know, basically proving that she's a liar is coming out. And so anyways, people can be very deceptive. Oh, thank you for the little crouching person. Okay, so let's see. So our question is if Irene knew the truth. Okay, if she knew the truth without proof, I mean, because there's no way that you can prove to her, but if she knew the truth without proof, would she make a different choice? And just to let you guys know, if you've got personal questions, to send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and that I'm doing for everyone, and I'll answer your question. But right now, I'm answering Kiwi Kid's question. Okay, the Page of Pentacles just came out. And for something is making my stomach start to cramp. So there's something going on with self-worth here. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is a younger energy. This could be one of her adult children or somebody that she cares for. So she would have to make the decision to cut off probably more than just Steve. I mean, I'm not getting that it would make a difference. The moon. What the hell? Why is the moon coming out again? Okay, so either way, if she keeps doing this moon magic, it's not compatible for her. She's basically cursing her own bloodline, which is kind of sad. She's also probably attached to somebody else's kid, or maybe a step kid or something like that. I'm literally not getting that she would make, if she found out the truth, would she make a different decision? She would probably make a different decision regarding the people around her, but I don't think that she would make a different decision regarding you, because there's still some other type of blockage. Let's get the other blockage. What's the other thing? But look, sacrifice. She straight up sacrificed you. It's like the definition of sacrificing somebody when you don't even have a reason to do that. I mean, if she wanted to break up with you, she could have just said, I don't want to be with you anymore. But have we even looked in to see if she actually believes that it's a lie? Or that it's the truth, I mean. People that get really quick to throw other people under the bus, I feel like are super sketchy to me. So, yeah, if she really loved you, I think she would have done some investigation. It seems suspicious to me that there was no investigation done whatsoever. When it comes to her just making a decision, maybe one of her adult children or somebody else's adult child gave her some shit advice when it comes to you. I feel like Irene is always going to put her children and her interests before yours, which makes her a very low compatible person for you. That's the main thing. And then the moon magic is also like, you've elevated so far beyond her now that you guys are not on the same frequency, which is a good thing, because she's not a happy person. She's not happy. Like, even with the changes that she's made now, she's not a happy person. So, Knight of Swords. Yeah, this energy feels like it could be, you know, Steve's energy. But I also get that, I mean, he doesn't even come off to me like somebody that would be organized enough to be in the military. So I don't get that. What is it on this card? Conceals his emotions. That's what it is. So the Knight of Swords, it has a bunch of different things listed on it. What I'm getting a hit on is the concealing his emotions. Supremely confident. I would hope to God that if she really did believe that, if it was proven that it was a false thing, that she would make a different decision. But I feel like even if you presented her with the truth or proof, she would still try to be in denial. Strength. So whether you want to acknowledge it or not, you're getting stronger through this situation. Look, I don't think that you have anything against her adult children. How many adult children does she have? Does she have more than one adult? Her kids weren't involved when you were together. Okay, so do you know why this Page of Pentacles kid, is this maybe Steve's kid then? Why this person doesn't like you? Because that's what I'm literally getting. So why wasn't she involved with her children when y'all were together? No, I don't get that they adopted a child. I'm getting that this is either her child or it's Steve's kid. It's an adult child. It's not an actual child. Like, this person could be in their 20s or, you know, 19 to like 30. But yeah. But yeah, no, they didn't adopt a child. So I'm wondering where this person is coming from. Coming out of nowhere. Let me just ask, is this child living with Irene? I get that kind of like off and on. They're not a stable person. They're not a stable adult. Okay, so she's always going to be putting her children, or maybe even other people's children, before herself, which is a normal mother thing. I wouldn't expect a mother to do anything other than that. But yeah, what was the circumstance with her children before? Ace of Wands. I don't get the vibe that Irene wants more like, she doesn't want to have more children. So if that's something that's really important to you, Kiwi Kid, I would be thinking about that. If getting married and producing children is something that is really important to you, then she may not be the right person, because it does not feel like she wants to have more kids. It doesn't feel like Steve wants to have more kids either. Maybe this is why they're more, like, these people are very toxic and low vibrational. Okay, what else? Two of Wands. I think where you're supposed to be putting your focus is on how you're going to better your own world. By doing that, it'll draw in somebody that is so much more compatible. Also, you're getting stronger through this situation. I mean, I don't get that Steve's, if Steve is a warlock, did I ever ask you that? Is he a warlock? Does he do some type of black magic? He feels like a very manipulative dick. That's what I'm getting. I don't know if mind control or whatever is involved, but yeah, he feels like a very manipulative dick. So she's not happy. Her ex-husband, he lied to her kids. Okay, interesting. Two of Pentacles. I feel like, yeah, you're probably going to receive some type of message about this situation. Could be something in the mail. Well, it's going to be about how you can contribute in a positive way with your own talents. I get also that you may receive a message from the divine that, like, it's time to move on, or it's time to move forward, or to be at least examining your goals when it comes to having a family, having a wife, having children. And then when you put yourself out there, you'll be opening yourself up to people who are not going to stagnate your energy and not going to block you from being able to have the family that you want, or the family that you don't want, either way. But I would get really clear on what your goals are. You are comparable. Do you mean to say compatible? You have never been high compatible with her. There's always been stuff in the way. And I think it's because if you were to go back to being in a relationship with her, you would feel unfulfilled in many aspects, because I don't feel like a marriage and children are in the cards for that. Okay, I will answer your question as soon as I am done with Kiwi Kid's question. Okay, let's see. So yeah, examining what your goals are and making sure that they do actually align. Like, because I feel like what you're wanting, she does not want the same thing. Four of Swords. If you let her go, you're going to have to, like, if you were to be able to release her and not be obsessed over her, I literally feel like this battle with Steve would end. Okay? Because I don't feel like he's going to be allowed to continue to do stuff to you once you realize that, once you get out of your own way. I mean, this person needs to self-reflect. So does Irene. And that's why I was wondering, does she even believe what she's saying she believed, or was she using that as an excuse to break up with you? That's what I'm wondering. Six of Cups. Yeah, if children are a part of what you want, then I would be rethinking everything when it comes to relationships. If you're okay with not having kids, then that would probably be more in alignment with the energy that she's in. She's probably already had kids and they're grown up now, and it takes a lot to raise a child. Like, it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of time, effort, resources. And if she had a bad experience with her ex, you know, that could be another motivator for her not to want to have kids. But there are definitely holes in this relationship that she's in right now. Whoever she's dating, it's not a good situation for her. I think she's being lied to. Wheel of Fortune. So this has to do with your destiny. So I would really, really think about it. Like, If children is something that you want, then this relationship's probably not the relationship for you. If you decide children's something that you don't want, I still feel like this relationship, because the fact is that something about Steve was blocking your destiny. Something about that person. She hasn't even come out yet. So something about Steve has been blocking your destiny, or blocking even you having a hope for your future. And this person cannot be trusted. So they're a grimy manipulator. Okay, let's see. 10 of Pentacles. What on here? What on here is it? Okay, the 10 of Pentacles. This is something that maybe Steve has to offer her. I'm getting that this 10 of Pentacles has more to do with your destiny than these people. So the 10 of Pentacles is like having a community, having influence, having a blessing. And these are people are freaking blessing blockers. So it makes sense that once these people are removed, that a blessing comes in for you. That completely makes sense. My stomach is still hurting, so I'm wondering what in the hell with this solar plexus energy. Let's go ahead and clear your chakras. So maybe you're not feeling like you're enough to have, she knows that you don't have to have kids. She knows that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I still don't get that it's going to change the compatibility, but if you do want kids, that could be a part of your future is what I'm seeing. Okay. What else? Also, if you put in, so when you have a relationship with somebody, usually they will be willing to do like part of the effort. Okay. So like if you can only show up one day, 40%, they'll fill in the rest. This relationship doesn't feel like there's any room for growth in it. Is there moon magic still being done on this situation? Yes. Oh my God. So you know what? With this situation, I would cut it off. I would literally detach from these people. You don't want to be 10 years in the future still clearing their dumbass moon magic. These people need to literally get their lives together. The way that I feel about people, because I've had people doing moon magic on me, is that I cut them out of my life, and then the ancestral realm can deal with them. Okay. And then I don't have to deal with their energy anymore. I feel like these people have outstayed their welcome when it comes to your energy. And the fact that they've made these crazy choices, I feel like for you to have emotional peace and your destiny, can't be around people that are trying to block that and are trying to destroy your happiness. What the hell is this? 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. So yeah, these people are shady. Dishonesty in business, their reputation as well as their long-term goals are in jeopardy. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Maybe this is talking about their careless spending. They don't really have a job. Maybe having a job would fulfill something within them. They need to look into the future. Okay, so yeah, you don't want to be in business partnership with any of these people. Holy shit. Their business is straight up upside down. So I'm wondering if Steve is going to take some type of financial hit, and then you're going to be looking like the more stable one. Okay, what else? Queen of Swords. Yeah, she cut you off without, I mean, I feel like literally if she were to find out the truth that she was lied to, I think she would probably be like, well, what's done is already done. I don't think she's going to reach out. I'm literally not getting that. I'm thinking that this cutoff is a permanent thing. Plus, you know, she's done witchcraft on you. That's the reason you probably can't let go when you're obsessed, is because she probably did some shit that I haven't cleared yet. But yeah, I don't think either of these people can be trusted. I don't think they're good for your energy. I don't think they're good for your soul. And, you know, I think that you've been blind to love, only seeing one side of them. Well, now you're seeing both sides of Steve, but Steve's got like 5 different, like, it's given some type of monster, like literally get monster vibes. Okay, what else? The Queen of Wands is somebody that's been hurt before. Yeah, the 8 of Wands being at the crossroads. These people have to make a new decision. The 10 of Wands carrying a lot of burdens. And the 3 of Wands, this is talking about a new business idea. If you were to connect with these people again, your life would start to go downhill. That's why I feel like you've already made so much progress. You're working towards your destiny. When God rescues you from people, don't go back to the situation that God just saved you from. And when I was under witchcraft, I went back to a person that beat the living shit out of me. Literally, excuse my language, but they beat the fuck out of me so many times. And then I would be like, oh, under a spell. And I would be like, oh, they're my husband. I should forgive them and go back to them. And then boom, 3 months later, here comes another ass whooping because this person can't control themselves. You know what I mean? And then when I started to work for myself, oh, this person hated that I wasn't waiting on them hand and foot anymore. It's giving that type of vibe, like you've been freed from a situation that was not serving your highest and best good. I would take that as a blessing and don't go back to it. But if she were to contact you, I would be super suspicious of that as well. I mean, the way that she behaved towards you is completely irrational and it doesn't make any sense. So the fact that she's still burdened, you know, I don't want you to get cut off from your abundance. These people are blessing blockers. They got bad energy. Especially since you've progressed. It's like you've progressed to a point where the universe is ready to give you blessings. You know, pretty much what you ask for. Look, a 10 of Cups, happily ever after, and a 3 of Cups. Now, when you were with these people, you had a lot of hardships as well. Did any of these people do anything to help you out of those hardships? I don't get that they were, but you know, for me, if I was in love with somebody and I was seeing them suffer, whether it's financial, physical, I would move heaven and fucking earth to help that person with their problem. Okay? That's the type of person I am. But you know, now I've just learned that when other people get themselves into situations, if I go to get them out of that situation and then they just go put themselves back in the situation, then it's like, what was the point of getting them out of the situation? I don't feel like these people were helping your situation. I feel like doing love magic on you was very manipulative. Thank you for that sticker. I also feel like, yeah, just that these people are very manipulative people. And for there to have been moon magic that was done on you in this situation, I think that that's completely inappropriate. And this is probably why it's backfiring. But yeah, now that you're no longer under the control of that witchcraft, you can make a new choice for yourself. So remember what I said about examining your goals. Make sure that, because going back to who you were, you don't want to go back to that version of yourself. That version of yourself is dead. It doesn't exist anymore. And just like the version of myself is dead, I will never, I mean, if I were to fall in love with somebody, I would still probably help them, but I will never do what I was doing before, like allowing people to beat on me and shit. Okay, I'm going to answer your question. The other person that sent the super chat, just give me 1 second, okay? I'll be right back. Sun is finally starting to go down. It's been way too hot recently, way too freaking hot. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, let's see. Mr. Kaiser Domingo, are you still with us? Okay, so what's Erica's Pisces? Okay, true current thoughts and feelings towards you. And you are the Scorpio. And what are her true overall intentions towards you? Okay. Okay, good. You're still here. Awesome. Okay, so let's look into that. Let's look into that and see kind of what intention-wise is what you're wanting to know about Erica. I don't get a bad feeling, so that's good. That's a good thing. So is this relationship one that you, like, do you live in an area that you can have access to her? Or is this a long distance thing? I always want to ask that because if it's a long distance thing, it just makes relationships harder. But we're going to see what her feelings are towards you. I do feel like there is a lot of attraction. There's decent chemistry. I don't know if your guys' work schedules make it hard for you to interact or whatnot, but let's see. 7 of Cups. Oh, that's not a very good card to get. Okay, let's look. So you don't want your judgment to be clouded, right? The 7 of Cups represents basically wishing for something that doesn't come into your reality, or being either delusional, paranoid, or being in the shadow self. That's why that shadow is there. It could also represent like having a lot of illusions about a situation. So I think when it comes to Erica, you've just got to be really clear with her and ask her what her intentions are. Is she wanting to take this relationship to the next level, which could be you guys getting a place together, or, you know, I feel like there's a couple conversations that need to be had with her when it comes to where this relationship is going. But I do get that, you know, she's a very emotionally intuitive person. She's very intelligent as well. 2 of Cups. So yeah, you don't want to be disillusioned about, you know, basically a union, right? So I'm going to put the 2 of Cups here. It talks about 2 people coming together after a long flirtation. If there was a broken relationship, it's healed through forgiveness. Connections are made in business. I was getting something about her business, like whatever she does for work, being kind of demanding or something like that. Or maybe this is her working on herself. Six of Cups. Six of Cups is like children. So kind of the same thing, you know, what is it that you want out of the relationship? And then can you meet with her to have a conversation? Four of Pentacles. It looks to me like you have a lot of blessings here, just you as an individual person. The Four of Pentacles talks about you having gifts and abilities that, let's get the likes up, you guys, please and thank you, that are going to benefit your future. Okay. Something that comes within. So let me just ask, is it Kaiser that's in the Seven of Cups? No, I think that you might be seeing the situation as it actually is. There might be some illusions in her mind when it comes to you. That's why I think having a conversation with her would be a good thing. Making sure that you guys are in alignment and wanting to move, you know, forward together or move in together. I mean, taking it to the next level. If this is somebody that you really feel like you love, I get that the feeling is mutual, but there's something about it. Four of Wands. Creative goals and projects will be completed. Ideas are plentiful. Okay, so this is just showing me that when it comes to her job, your job, that there's room for, you know, if she were to move in with you and had to relocate or whatever, it's like she could maybe do something remotely that's going to bring her in money. I don't get that money is an issue with you, but that could be part of the illusion. But if you are wanting to get married, that does cost money. Unless you go to like the courthouse. I don't know if it still costs money. It might. Okay, what else? Or if you, yeah, it's more about what your intentions are. I feel like she doesn't have bad intentions for you, but she may be just stuck in some type of illusion, you know? I do feel like there is an ex from her past that wants to come back, but is not able to. So she's done something to block someone out of her energy. Good for her. I mean, that's ultimately for her highest and best good to block that person out. I feel like also you're different than the other people that she's dated. So something about you and your integrity probably, look, cut the deck on the devil, about you and your integrity, that's a lot. I don't want to say you're a better person because I don't like saying better, but yeah, then this ex that wants to come back and torture her, you're so much better choice. So I'm also getting something like about maybe pets. I don't know if you've got pets or if she's got pets. There would be maybe a few things to work out, but I get that if you wanted to take this relationship to the next level, like moving in together, then she'd be able to get something with work, like remotely, you know, being able to do it over the phone or through the internet. That's what I'm getting. So it's not like there's a whole bunch of blockages in the way. I would definitely make sure that she wants the same things so that you can be ensuring yourself that she's not in some type of illusion. I feel like her thinking that the answers are in the past is an illusion. Okay, when she's got somebody that's so much better in the present. Yes, you may be different than the other people that she's used to dating, but the other relationships never worked out. Ace of Wands. I just noticed on the Ace of Wands this castle. Why did they make the castle so little? I just barely noticed that. The Ace of Wands is a good card because it talks about having high energy. It talks about a good start to any like new project. And then it also talks about it being a good time to start a family. So I mean, to me, if she wants marriage and a family and kids, if that's what she's wanting out of life, and this is why having a conversation with her is necessary. But yeah, Just to let you guys know, I am answering Kaiser's, sorry, I forgot your whole username. Mr. Kaiser Domingo. I'm answering his question, okay? And please don't be rude. I will block you, okay? I have no problem doing that. Okay, so also, there may be something that you guys can invest in together when it comes to work or finance. I feel like the genetics are good. If you guys wanted to have kids, these kids would have very good genetics. And I also get that this is a great time for you to begin. Just Kaiser is cool. Yeah, you're welcome. This is a great time for you to begin a family. I get that you're very fertile, so is she. I'm wondering if her career is like more important than relationships. You know how people will go through phases where sometimes at some point they'll be like putting their career first, and then they'll put relationships on the back burner, and then sometimes they'll realize that it was out of balance by doing that, so they put their relationship the Lovers and the Devil. What the hell? Okay, so the Lovers is a good card. Okay, that talks about physical attractiveness, a beautiful soul, beginning of a romance. You know, I'm really getting that this devil energy is coming from this person from her past. So she could be fighting literal demons. Like, okay, what's up with the devil energy? Why is that showing up? I'm also getting that, you know, this starting a family with the Lovers, that's really good energy right there. I don't get anything from her that is like a red flag. I just get that she's been through some rough shit in the past, is what I'm getting. So just let you guys know, if you have personal questions, to send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and then I'll answer your question. Okay, let me get clarification on the devil. Why did the devil pop out right next to the Lovers? I think it's because literally her ex is some type of demon, and it would be better for her, like, truly, I hope that this person does not know where she lives. They cannot be trusted. Wheel of Fortune. Of course, the devil's going to come out when the Wheel of Fortune is involved. It looks like you guys would literally come into balance and not only create a beautiful generation of people, but there would be a lot of peace in the relationship. So if she's thinking about going back to the past, that's not what her higher self wants. Shit, I mean, I don't even know her, and I don't want that for her, because that would be being stuck in illusions, being tied to the devil. It's no fun. I also get that the Wheel of Fortune for you, what I love about the Wheel of Fortune card is that you can spin the Wheel of Fortune and it's going to land on a prize. No matter where it lands, it's going to be a prize. Okay. So this ex of hers could be trying to come back in because they have some type of demonic attachment. That could be their method of why they're wanting to come back. I feel like you could be her knight in shining armor, the Queen of Wands. So now that I see that where her energy is showing up, she does seem to be a very attractive person. This could be one reason why this person from the past doesn't want to leave her alone. But I'm also getting that you guys coming together, you could create a beautiful life with this person. So if she's willing, I think you just need to get the okay from her and finding out how she's prioritizing her life. If she's prioritizing work over relationships, then right now may not be the time, even though it is a good time to begin a family. and to unite with a lover. But if she's willing to, I want to say, compromise, and when it comes to her career and because when you start a family, you almost, being a parent is like a full-time job. So when you start a family, you almost have to compromise. Well, especially for a woman, if a woman gets pregnant and they're starting their own family, they literally have to take off, maternity leave. They have to take time off of work. People with demanding jobs, I've known people to literally be like 9 months pregnant, about to freaking give birth, and then they get fired because the people don't want to pay maternity leave. I mean, some jobs are just not, some employers are a-holes, right? So I'm getting that for her, she may think that her job is very important, but I get that it's like less important. It's not as important as relationships at this time. But she's probably trying to recover from this demon that she was with in the past, is what I'm getting. So the fact that you're completely opposite of them, this person is literally another creature compared to you. I also get that you would never put hands on her. You would never cuss her out. I also get that when you get upset, you get very reserved. It's like an internal battle. So as far as these, if she's afraid, she may be afraid of these patterns from her past. Oh my God, with this person, she could be afraid that that's going to happen again, but you're not like this demonic person. Oh, I love you too, Shaman Maria. Some organizations sucks. Yes, they do. Yeah. So I would, ask her there. I don't know how you're going to come up with this conversation, but you just want to make sure that you guys are on the same page. And if there are things that you want that she's not willing to do, then I would revisit. But as the cards are coming out, it looks like she would be a great person to have children with, that she's also financially responsible for herself. And so I'm seeing that you guys, when you come together, would create a lot of abundance. And then these children, you know what I mean? So yeah, it looks to me like it is a good fit. The Queen of Wands is somebody who's very beautiful, very attractive. They're also somebody that can make things move. Like if this person needs abundance, they can call it in. And she's, she's a deeply intuitive person. So I feel like she needs to trust in herself more, not to relive the same experience. Just to let you guys know, if you have questions, to send a $20 super chat with your question, because that's how I'm answering this question right here. And then this person from the past, it would be really nice for her to be able to move in with you and get this person from the past off of her case, because somewhere within the back of her mind, she is afraid of this ex. Okay. I don't know if she's talked to you about this situation. Maybe she's embarrassed by it, but I get that, at some point she's going to feel ready to move on fully and not be afraid. I don't think that she needs to fear. How can somebody encounter more than one person like this in their lifetime? That's just what I'm looking at. Do people actually do that? I guess if they've got a bad picker, but it looks like how the pendulum was completely out of balance here with this other person. By her, finding you, it's putting everything in balance. So it's like the pendulum has to swing the other way. So, and I know that you have a past as well. It's just there's not anything sticking up from your past that would be like a snare, right? Like something that's going to come back to haunt you. I don't see anything of that nature for you. So it's more of this nightmare of a person that she used to be with. Maybe she hasn't fully given herself in relationships due to when she did to this demonic person, that they took advantage of her. The Eight of Cups. I also feel like whoever this is from the past is going to have to, you know, get a new job, get a new place to live. They have a lot going on. So I don't think they're going to be able to focus on her as strongly as they were. But I also get that, you know, it's like when you're at this ripe, good age, you don't want to like miss your mark. Not saying that you will, but so taking action. Taking action. She is a coworker crush. Yeah. So, okay. So if work is the obstacle, like I was feeling, because look, if you date somebody from work 9 times out of 10, if they find out about that, they'll fire one or both of you. They usually companies do not allow. Okay. So my adopted parents, they worked at Kaiser Permanente, both as doctors. And when they got married, then they both got fired. So it's like a company policy type thing. So that maybe that's the blockage, but I'm getting that, you know, I don't see why that has to be the way that it is though. Maybe it's company preference. I would find out what your company preference is saying. Like if you have a thing that's got rules on it, you know, ask, can you be in a relationship with somebody that you work with? Two of Swords. Yeah, this energy from the past is being blocked. It's being blocked. So some things to think about. You may want to just start with going on a date, see if you guys vibe together. I do feel like she's attracted to you, but the one thing that she could be blocking herself from is if she's valuing the job over relationships, then that could be it right there. So, and I also feel like you would help her heal. Not that she needs help with healing, because she's going to end up doing it on her own. I can see that within her. But you could be a part of that healing process. I think you guys having a communication and then letting her open up to you. Yeah, going on a date. I think that, because from my angle, what I can see is that there would be good chemistry. You guys are both very deeply, you feel things very, very deeply, which I think is something that would be in common with the both of you. So some things to think about. And then, you know, if you end up getting to go on a date with her, asking her what her plans are for life. I mean, you don't want to be doing that while you're at work because other people will overhear you. And because she is coming out as the Queen of Wands, which is somebody who's like drop dead gorgeous, there's probably other people at your job that are very attracted to her. I mean, I'm seeing some very creepazoid, I don't know, manager or something. So this guy's a creep. But yeah, I would keep all of this on the hush hush and communicate with her if you can, and do it in a private way, not in like the company group chat. Okay. Because yeah, I get that, you know, this company is literally not very compatible for either one of you, but it does pay the bills. So you want to hold on to it for now. But if another opportunity were to arise, or if, you know, if you have a dream about designing things, maybe like computer design, or what is it called? Like coding or whatever. Maybe there's something that you can do with computers, with programs that you may end up wanting to do yourself, like building something. Because I don't see you working for this company forever. And I don't feel like they would even give you a 401k or like a good solid future. So you wouldn't want to work for them forever. Well, they would maybe give you a 401k, but like I was saying about how I've known people, it just depends on what state you work in, but like, because there are some states where literally for somebody to, if it's a right to work state, that employer, if you change your haircut, that employer can fire you, and they don't have to give you an explanation. They don't have to say anything as to why they're doing it. They can just cut you off immediately. Yes, definitely keep it hush hush, and don't tell any of your other coworkers that you talk to that you have a crush on her or anything, okay? because that will probably bring up jealousy and competition. I feel like she is constantly swatting people away because she's trying to work on healing, and so many people are attracted to her. It's people think that it's all fun and games wanting to be beautiful and attractive until people start trying to put their hands on you. You're getting hit on all the time. I mean, I don't experience that problem, but I'm not as thin as I used to be. So I don't know. I get that she's very, very attractive. So there's something very beautiful about her. And I feel like she would be a blessing to your life. So, think about how you can make that first step and then see if it is a company policy. If it's not a company policy, then there's not really anything that's blocking you. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Kiwi Kid's question. Okay. So if Irene had stayed with you, would she have enjoyed sleeping with you better? Would she be happier in every way if she had stayed with you? That is a good question. Let's see. I know I was picking up on the insecurity with your solar plexus, but yeah, this subject I think makes you feel insecure because it's such a difficult subject. It really is. So let's just clear your chakras and rebalance you. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So just to let you guys know, that if you've got personal questions, to send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question. Okay. All right, let's see. Would Irene be happy? Would she be happier? She's not happy right now, okay? I mean, she could not be happy because she thinks that you cheated on her still. But I get that it's more than that. It's a few things in her life that she's not happy with. Okay. So if she would have stayed with Kiwi Kid, would she be happy right now? Has Irene ever suffered from depression? Has she ever struggled with that? The star. Why is the star coming out? I think it's hope. Inspiration, insight, and hope. Dreams for the future will come true. What is it with the star? Is this something about the new age of Aquarius? Yeah, she's supposed to be going through a whole metamorphosis right now, but I feel like she's sitting in depression. I think that she can sense that something's not right. She just doesn't know exactly what it is. And I'm also getting that there's some major blockages that are being removed. Contact with someone who will dramatically change your life. Okay, let me just ask, is Kiwi Kid the person that would dramatically change her life? Strong love between two people. I feel like that if what went down didn't go down, because really we have to take accountability for our own reality. You drew this situation in because you probably have a fear, an insecurity, and a fear of rejection or fear of people being taken from you type situation, which is completely normal, by the way, but you just want to make sure that you're addressing that and not living in the energy of being insecure or not feeling like you're enough, because now that you have access to the truth of God, you know that you are enough. God is enough. God is the whole shebang. It's the all of everything, right? And my version of God, I know what people think God is. I don't think that that's what God is. I don't think it's a man in a throne, in a cloud, etc., which I think I've told you guys before. My version of God is just everything that is good, that is a good feeling, positivity, high vibrational. And that's from me building my own connection with God, where I'm getting this from. I mean, I don't even think it says in the truth of God that God is good. It's just implied that unconditional love, joy, compassion, mercy, and and grace and peace are all good things. And that's what God is and represents. All of this, oh, a jealous God, a that God. No, that's a higher dimensional being that thinks it's God or is playing God. Okay. 8 of Swords. Remember, you guys, in the stories, and again, I don't believe that Lucifer is the devil, but it's because I've read the Ethiopian Bible, which completely has a different story in it. And I know how they create stories to make agendas, but okay, the 8 of Swords. So something about this situation, yeah, I feel like she would feel more free if she was with you. I feel like she would be more hopeful. I feel an overwhelming feeling of depression coming from her. And she could feel like she's forced into living by other people's rules, or that she has to, like, conform, you know, to society. Maybe she's feeling like a pressure build up from what society is asking of her. This is why I stay away from groups of people, because then they'll start demanding shit. If it's like, if you go into a religion, they start saying, you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to believe without, you can't question. What I love about Lucifer's energy is that he was a rebel. He questioned shit. If a being that said it was God came along and said, oh, go do something horrible to this person. See, before that, the angels didn't have free will to even question shit. So the fact that Lucifer rebelled, God, in that version of the story, didn't even know that his creation had evolved, right? That they could question things. So I'm all for questioning things. But it feels to me like this energy is being boxed in. So, okay. So she's basically, what I'm getting is that when she was with you, she had times that she was really depressed. So I don't know if she's got a mental health thing going on, but that would be somewhere for her to look. I also feel like her father is very negative person, mentally for her, very toxic. He's always thinking about the worst case scenario. Maybe he's been really traumatized. 7 of Wands. I don't know if she feels like she has to defend her energy, but it does feel like, you know, with her being more active in these adult children's lives, she feels like people are competing for her time and resources. That's what I'm getting. I'm also getting that, you know, maybe she feels like that people are too aggressive with her. So there is one side of her that I see that is like really, really, really soft-spoken, sweet, calm, never complains, never, like, I see one side of her, but then I also see the part of her that's her shadow. And that's the part of the unprocessed trauma that she's been through. So, you know, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose anybody, but I would think that it would help her to have a therapist, or at least a therapist, where she could talk things through. She used to have you, but there is nothing that Steve can offer her emotionally that she can't give to herself, right? And if she's seeking, I don't think that she's even seeking out to get healed. That's kind of part of the problem. So the reason that things are not moving forward for her emotionally is because she's viewing things from the wrong angle. Ace of Cups. Yeah, she could be feeling like a little let down. Maybe she was expecting, maybe she was literally thinking that the reason that, because it feels to me that when she was with you, things were better, okay? But that was because she was able to live off of what God has given you, Kiwi Kid, which means that she was in your direct energy, sleeping with you, all of that exchange. Having sex is like the definition of exchanging energies. So exchanging energies with you, and you have an overflowing cup of love, which means God, even if somebody is not good for you, if they come around you, God is going to give protection and extend that love out to those people around you. So she's feeling like something has been taken from her. And she's also trying to hold you accountable for something that you can, it's never going to be held, like, she wants you to be severely punished. Okay. That's what I'm getting. She's not going to be able to hold you accountable and punish you for something that you didn't do. And if something like that has ever occurred to any of you guys or happened, that I would start asking questions. Was this karma? Was this witchcraft? What are the other underlying things that would cause such an injustice to be done? I also feel that she's got an amount of regret, but it's not because of the decision she made with you. She thinks she's righteous in making that decision. So, but this is what I'm saying. She doesn't question anything. Who literally, if somebody of the opposite sex came to me and said, yeah, your man's been cheating. Like, I don't have a man, but it's not the point. If they were like, your man's been cheating, I would be like, show me the proof. Show me the evidence, okay? And then I'd be like, if you don't have evidence, get the F out of here. I'm not listening to this shit. Literally. And I would hope that I would know that somebody was cheating on me, okay? Sometimes we're just oblivious to what people are doing because we've fallen in love with them and the chemistry, the physical chemistry of life, you know? You never had sex. She kept denying you since Steve lied. Okay. Yeah. What a dick, dude. I can't believe that shit. That's so messed up. Dang. Okay. So do you want to go back to a relationship where you can't even have sex with the person? That's crazy. I wondered if when he did that, if he was thinking that he would be able to have sex with her. Because it just, to betray somebody like that is really mean. That's a really, really evil thing to do to someone. Queen of Pentacles. I think that if you guys would have stayed together, she would be more stable, okay? Financially. And also when it comes to her emotions and her personality. Like I said, I see one side of her and then I see her unprocessed trauma. And in the past, I've been able to see people's highest potential, but then I disregard their flaws because I only want to focus on their highest potential or who they could be, right? But realistically, do people ever get to that highest potential? I've only seen like 1 or 2 people actually reach their highest potential. So anyways, over time, I've had to stop looking past people's personality flaws and stuff like that. But only because I've been beaten up so bad by life that now I will like examine the situation as it is. All right. What is going on with the authority here? She doesn't feel like she has authority to even have happiness. Okay. She's having to defend herself. Why? 4 of Wands. I think that what would really help her would be like a job and to detach from Steve. That's probably what's going to help. But since you can't be there to basically help her emotionally and mentally recover, okay? I also feel like that when Steve did that to her, his intention was to break her down so that then he could come in and play the hero card. That's like literally what his intention was. And if, I'm sorry, but sir, ma'am, it, they, them, if you got to break a woman down, like literally break them by feeding them a lie or doing whatever narcissistic bullshit to them, if you have to bring them down a few notches to be with them, that person is too damn good for you and you shouldn't be around them. Point blank, period. He never needed to do this. Like, anyways. That's why I was wondering if he was like a warlock or something, if you know if he is or not. How he could be so convincing. Yes, God is attacking her for betraying you and for attacking you with witchcraft. I mean, that is something that we're just not going to look past. 10 of Pentacles. See, you still have a stable place to live. I get that she's like, she's going through ups and downs that are, there's nothing in her future that's certain. If she would have stayed with you, she would still be experiencing this overflowing cup of love that comes from God. All of her sorrows and problems, perceived problems, because again, her children are adults now. Maybe that comes with a whole nother level of problems, but it seems to me like she's at a point in her life where she wants to sit back and just chill and like reap the benefits of having being at the point in her life where she wants to sit back and chill. And she can't do that because she has no peace. The peace was with you. She didn't like the peace, P-E-A-C-E. Yeah, P-E-A-C-E. That type of peace, okay, like peace, that was with you. Now that she's not in your energy, that peace is gone. And she's left with Steve's weird ass. I mean, literally. Is there anybody else that she's dating? I mean, is that even important? Because that's not what we're asking. What we're asking is about happiness. Yeah, if she would have stayed with you, she would have been happy. However, what I'm kind of getting is that if you guys had stayed together, maybe you would have not grown in any way. Maybe you would have stayed in the same exact energy and been under her spell. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I mean, there's no wrong path. Every path eventually, this is what I truly see every day, is that every different path, if we choose to like go down, let's say we want to, some people are like, they really want to be a Buddhist, or they really want to be a yogi, or whatever, they really want to be something. So they go down a certain path, right? So if you go down a path, if you're meant to do something completely different and you take just a random path, you'll end up getting to your destination eventually, but it could take multiple lifetimes. Where if you were just to go directly to your path and then walk that and then see where that takes you, then you wouldn't have to be rerouted to your destiny. Just know that every path that you go down, you will eventually be rerouted to going within and making a new path. So it's like but when you choose your own path, you're basically forging a way for you to move forward. She's extremely burdened. I feel like part of the burden is because of the witchcraft backfire, and the other part is because part of her does miss you, but then she thinks that you were unfaithful to her, and she really believes it. Like, I don't know what Steve said to her, but this is weird as shit. 10 of Cups. Yeah, she probably would have been happy. She probably would have been. And taken care of. Like, you most likely were going to still do right by her and take care of her. Now she's in a situation to where she has to rely on men. Like, well, other people. Let's just say that. Okay. I mean, this is why it's just like she did this to herself in a way. I mean, we're all creating our own realities, but you did this to you. She did this, and then there's a whole nother third party person that was also involved in it. So to me, it's like, maybe maybe you were never going to end it with her or something. You probably would have stayed in the same energy, devoted all your time and energy to her, and then you would have never gotten to your real divine life purpose, which is going to lead you right into success and a happily ever after, having everything that you want and that you would need. So she's, the answer is you going within using the God technique. That is the answer. But it still looks like your future is going to be awesome. Hers is up in question because she didn't question what she was told. Knight of Wands. This is what he keeps coming out. Every time I pull cards, his dumbass comes out as a Knight of Wands or the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. You outrank these people. So, if she's feeling guilt, she's either got to swallow that, or literally she could send you a message freaking today and you would drop everything that you're doing and talk to her. So she's got you right where she wants you in that energy of like, if I say jump, jump. But I'm getting that she's not a very happy person. She's not happy with multiple decisions that she's made, and she doesn't feel like she's been treated fairly. Hell hath no fury like a woman who has been bereaved, okay? If you've ever heard of that saying, the worst thing you can do is piss a woman, grieve a woman, like make her grieve you. But you didn't even do anything, so this is just ridiculous. She's not in the mood of forgiving. She didn't forgive her ex. Okay. She's got a habit. She's a very sweet person, but she's got a habit. It could be part of her shadow of not forgiving people. And nobody is perfect. I don't get that you cheated on her, but I literally get that nobody is perfect. She's never going to find somebody that is 100% perfect. Okay? Because she's not willing to work on herself. The people that work on themselves and make themselves better will always draw in people who are better. That's just how the law of attraction works. But she's still running in her mind. She's still like a child in her mind. She's still running from some type of abuse that happened to her. And that's why I was saying a therapist, somebody that she could talk to, because she could have had you, but she decided to throw you away and sacrifice you. So now she has no one to talk to. If she goes to her dad is always very pessimistic and not optimistic in any way. He's always looking at the worst case scenario because he's afraid for her, which is understandable for a parent, but usually people are a little bit more balanced. So if she was raised by somebody that was completely pessimistic, maybe that's the way that she looks at things. I mean, we can't control people's minds, but this other person, the Steve person, was coming out with the Knight of Wands. So yeah, they keep coming out as that. Okay, you guys, we're going to close out the reading. I'm going to pull a couple more cards for you. And I am so freaking hungry. And then I've got to go get something to eat. Could be that self-worth thing. Sometimes if it's me waking up in the middle of the night, that my stomach, sometimes it's a self-worth thing, whatever I've been dreaming about. And then I literally, once I can clear that, the hunger will go away. But sometimes I just get up and eat and I forget to look at that because like I'm still in sleep mode. All right, let's see. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are here with me. If you could like this video, I would greatly appreciate it, please, and thank you. So yeah, the vision that I had was that the ancestors, the spirit guides, your highest team of beings, okay, is pulling people off of you like they were leeches, like their energy. If you don't know what leech is a disgusting bug. Usually you encounter it in water, at least that's what I've seen on TV, but they suck your blood and grow bigger. It's so gross. Hell no. So anyways, they're very vampiric insect, okay? They live in large bodies of water and in tropical places, and I'm not sure exactly where they live because I don't even want to do no research on them, but they do represent something that's draining. And what I was seeing was that you have a spirit guide that's picking these people off of you because they were draining you in some type of way and throwing them into the fire, like picking a leech off you and throwing it into the fire. It's probably the fire of the Holy Ghost. And then it just disintegrates. So this whole concept of like leeching you. Now, people back in the day, they're like way bigger than bed bugs. But people back in the day, they would literally, okay, science was hella weird. And so was doctoring and all of that. The doctors back in the day, when King Henry the 8th was around. Okay, he had doctors leeching him and shit. But it was an actual like remedy that was never proven to actually be a remedy of anything. But the doctors back then were insane. They were giving people freaking mercury. Like if you have syphilis, drink some mercury. No, if you drink mercury, you will pass away. That is one of the most toxic substances on the earth. But anyways, their methods of doctoring were not based upon anything real. They believed that bodies had these things called humors, and the humors would basically, like if you took a bath, a hot bath, this is why they never bathed. But if you would take a hot bath, then you would be, your pores would open and these humors would either get in you or like, and cause disease. That's what they literally believed. Okay. And then that's weird as hell, but you know, this is what the doctors of back then were saying, was shit like that. And they were probably drinking the mercury too. So they're probably crazy people. You know, that term mad as a hatter, it's because the people who were hatters, to make the hat stiff, had to use spray on mercury, literally. And then they would go get the urine of people who were like in the insane asylum that went crazy because they were making hats, and they would use even the urine to stiffen the hats. It's so disgusting and weird. Oh shit. But yeah. So anyways, everything that's in Alice in Wonderland is a deformity of society. Every single thing, from the queen with the big head and all of that, like all of the stuff she encounters are, I want to say, like deformities of society. They're like cancers of society. So when the guy's in the tea party, the never ending tea party, and anyways, all right. What do we need to see about the future moving forward? So I would continue to cleanse the sun. I think the sun does a lot of good for you guys. Of course, make sure that you're safe. You know, if you're, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of sunbathing, but it is a practice that people do where you sit out in the sun. I would advise you not to look at the sun directly unless you've got those like eclipse glasses, or you've got some type of sunglass that's got whatever, a UV thing. It's got something in it. I don't know exactly what it is, but that keeps out the harmful rays of the sun. But getting out in the sun, see, this was another thing back in the day, like Tudor times, which, you know, so King Henry, they believed when a woman would have a baby, they would keep her in a room with all of like the curtains drawn, and they believed that like sunlight and fresh air was bad. Like, what? And she'd be in there for weeks, you know, like trying to repair her body, and she couldn't even get any vitamin D from the sun, like just nothing. Anyways, the people back in the day were getting sold these beauty products that were all filled with rat poison. So like arsenic, they were called like arsenic tablets, and it would make their skin very pale, and it would make them appear like they're dead because they're slowly poisoning themselves with it. Crazy. And it's like their advertisements were like super safe, you know, super safe for you. And they also had an arsenic spring that they would go to and go in the arsenic waters, and it would bleach their skin. That is insane. Anyways, arsenic is no bueno. That's the same thing as rat poison. Oh, they also had belladonna eye drops. It just gets worse. I could go on for hours about this subject because I've listened to a bunch of boring history, but they had belladonna eye drops. Belladonna is like one of the most dangerous plants that can unalive you, like literally. And they wanted to get the effect of big, doughy, like big eyes, but what it does is it dilates the pupils to a point where you can't even see correctly. So it's like your eyes may look pretty, but yeah, you're not gonna be able to see anything in front of you type situation. And there was this one lady that was like literally almost died because of the stupid eye drops. And then she was like, I need to hurry up and get better so that I can use the eye drops again. Like, what? No. Anyways, don't be putting any belladonna anywhere, okay? Stay away from that stuff. I think it only grows in Europe, but yeah. They used a lot of like dry shampoo type stuff, and oh, they used kerosene in their hair. And then these women would walk with their soaked kerosene hair to get rid of head lice. They would like literally walk by candles and their hair would like blow up. I'm not even joking. Oh, the past would have been so shitty to live in the past. I'm so glad that I was born in the day and age where we have toilets, soap, you know, a Dollar Tree, all of that stuff. Is life is good. Eight of Swords, putting it into perspective. Oh my goodness. Okay, so look, this energy that was trying to vamp off of you is now being destroyed completely. So it's being cast into the fire. Okay, permanently destroyed. I don't think that this energy is going to reform, but I do get that what are vampires allergic to? The sun. So the more that you know, open the blinds, like breathe fresh air, that type of thing, the healthier you're going to be. And I don't feel like you need to worry about, even though you had a few people that were draining energy off of you, maybe making you even feel guilty for not giving them your time or your energy. Look, you don't need to feel bad for saying no to somebody, because you're the only one that's responsible for looking after you. Other people who don't give a rat's ass about how you feel, they're not responsible for looking after you. You are. So this is why making your priorities where you prioritize yourself first. And I know that you guys have kids and stuff like that, and you've got situations where you're like, but this person's needing my assistance, and how do I not help them? You can't give to others if it's going to deplete you. And this is the whole thing of, you have spirit guides doing something for you that you're not even doing for yourself. And I'm not trying to be offensive with that, but literally in the vision, and I could be doing it too. This is why we're talking about it. But it's like, you could pull those leech sucking vampire bugs off of you and throw it into a fire pit if you wanted to, but you have an ancestor or spirit guide that's pulling these people off of you. Maybe because you weren't aware that they were there. But I feel like most of you guys will know who these people are, because they demand a lot of your time, a lot of your money, a lot of your energy. And maybe they are in a situation, okay? And maybe they are people that you care about. But if you can't be stable for yourself, then you can't be here for anyone else, okay? And that is a very true statement. And don't think that, oh, if I say no to my kid, or I say no to this neighbor, I say no to this friend or whatever, don't think that the world is going to end, okay? Put more trust in God to fulfill everything that you need to have fulfilled. Six of Cups. This does have to do with children. This could be a situation in the future for some of you guys. If you've got a child that's going to end up going through addiction, you don't want to be feeding that addiction. There was this one movie. What was it? It was a female jail movie. Oh my gosh. Orange is the New Black. Okay. The redheaded girl from Orange is the New Black, not one of the main characters, but she's got like really frizzy, curly red hair. She belonged to a very wealthy family, and anytime she needed to go like shoot up or whatever, which was probably all the time, she would just go to her mom, and her mom would just pull out wads and wads of cash, because she didn't want her to go do illegal things to get the money, and she had the money, so she basically supported her habits. Anyways, it's giving that vibe. Like, you don't want to be an enabler, so just make sure that you are aware that if you're raising kids, you're raising them so that they can take care of themselves. And if you raise them correctly, and the situations are right, okay, like they don't have any Down syndrome or autism or whatever, like other hindrances. If you raise them, you know, even if they do have that, like, do everything that you can to help your kid, but don't When it becomes too much, don't be afraid to ask for assistance, okay? 5 of Wands. Because there's a lot of people and a lot of energies with wanting to compete for your time and your resources and your attention and stuff. And so what I'm getting is that, you know, just make sure that you're able to give to yourself so that you can be of use to others. And by you leading the way, by you being the example, if you do have children and your children see you loving yourself, they're going to pick up that habit. Okay. So make yourself the priority. Ace of Wands. If you have a dream, go for that dream. Okay. Don't just sit idly thinking that you need circumstances to become different for you to go for the dream that you've always had. Okay. This is what I'm getting. That don't hold yourself back. There could be something about the one that flew over the cuckoo's nest. I don't remember what that book was about. I'm sure if I read a little synopsis of it, I would be reminded. The High Priestess, yeah, you have the discernment. You've got it within you. You have the ability to discern what's going to be for your highest and best good and what they need and what they don't need. I think that when you put yourself first, you're not doing it to, like, you know, some people may look at you not putting them first as a problem, like a child, because they're used to you putting them first. But really, you've got to prioritize your own life. Okay. Or it could be just somebody else. Like, for these people that demand stuff of you, for you to be able to be available to fulfill that, you've got to be able to take care of yourself first. Okay. And then kids, they don't really think about that when it comes to their parents. At least I didn't. Queen of Pentacles, you guys are going to remain stable and self-sufficient. So even with these situations that were maybe taking from your finances, maybe it was a project with a car. I mean, repairing your car could cost a lot. Whatever this situation is, it did have to do with children though, and you feeling limited in some type of way. So just know that if God had the ability to create these children, to send these souls and to use you as a portal to bring them into the world, then God can also fill their bellies as well. So you don't, like, literally, children are a blessing. I know that they cost a lot. I do know that. I don't know exactly how much they cost, but I do know that it's a lot, right? But it's what else are you going to invest in other than your next generation? Okay, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. I love you so much. Just a reminder, The Truth of God, it's an advanced intuitive living workbook, and it's written by Michael STEADMAN, who's a doctor of divinity. So I've been using the techniques from The Truth of God for 11 years. I suggest that you guys get this book. It will completely change your life. The second book that I'm just going to mention, and it's tagged in the products and linked in the description box below, is the book that I have written, and it's called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, written by me, Astraea Love. This book is going to teach you how to read cards for yourself and for other people. And I've also got the quick and easy original Rider-Waite Tarot tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. Okay, you guys, so check these books out and check out the different metaphysical supplies. I've got them at a really good price. And I go through and I handpick each metaphysical supply to make sure it's got good energy. So if you guys are looking for something specific, I would go to the tagged products and just check out what's there. But I love you so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. God bless you guys. Peace be with you. If you could like the video, tap the notification bell, make sure you are subscribed. All of that stuff really helps keep this platform alive, and it is so appreciated. I love you guys so much, okay? God bless you and peace be with you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.